Go on, Teddy. You're live. Huh? We have a commercial. That particular commercial has worked. I gave him money. Are we on?
Oh,
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, friends. Hi, Alice, Brenda. Alice and Brenda, Brenda and Alice. I think there's some others watching. Maybe you haven't said hi yet, or you might not be signed in. I know my friend Thelma's out there. Hello, Thelma. Her silly iPad won't let her, not iPad, yeah, maybe an iPad. I don't remember. Whatever her device is, it won't let her sign in. So we'll just give Thelma a shout out. Coming in loud and clear. Love the new camera angle. Okay, we are continuing to use said camera angle so we can give you the best possible view without my arm laying in front of you. Okay, let's take a look at what's in our kit while we wait and see if others might be joining us. Let's go ahead and sign in. We're still working on the aspect ratio with this iPhone, but at least we got a picture-in-picture again, so it's not the voice coming out of nowhere. Let's see what we got here. We got Teddy in the background. I tried to get Teddy to go on camera and say hi. Hello, Maria. But nothing doing now. He's got his toy and he's going to be a menace. I think he's getting thrown out. I tried to get him to come on camera, but he wasn't hearing it. Hello, Deborah O'Brien. Nice to have you with us. Betty McSorley, good to see you, my friend. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you out there, Deborah. A new voice. That's awesome. Where are you from? Brenda, hi. Yeah, he definitely wanted you to know he was here. He was saying, when you were, hi, Betty Gosnell, when you were trying to catch me and I'd have nothing of it. Well, now I want your full attention. Puppies. They're menaces. Okay, let's see what's in this kit. We got your roll of shaker tape. You get a full, we only use a couple stickers off this, but you get a half sheet of these really fun silver Merry Christmas and Christmas tree stickers. You get a packet of our ultra fine, super wonderful glitter. You get the contents for your shaker card. You get little rhinestones that we will decorate with. You get the topper set, which is absolutely gorgeous for this class, I have to add. This is arguably the #1 single set of the year so far. I think we are temporarily just sold out of the kit, the topper set itself, although I do have more on order, so we should have more of those soon. We still have a few of the kits, I believe. You get a sheet of Rainbow Mary. You get our deluxe card blank that we'll be using for our stepper card. You get 2 other heavy-duty 5x7 cards. You get envelopes, and you get acetate for our shaker card. I see that there is one thing we do not have here that I'm going to give you a second to grab some for those of you who are working along. Hello, Mary Robinson. Welcome, welcome. Okay, you want to have a small piece, large enough to do the backer. Well, the backer for this circle. You need 1 sheet of cardstock big enough that we can build your base on. So a 6x6 should suffice, but we'll need 1 sheet of cardstock that we did not include in the kit. I thought about that after the fact and thought, I wonder if Brittany knew to put that in there because it doesn't show. So hello, Crafty Gal, Deborah, it's nice to see you. If you could grab 1 sheet of cardstock, you're going to need that to build the backer for your shaker card. That one thing was not included in your kit. So let's grab that. If you're working along with me, you'll need that now. And we're going to have a nice turnout today. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Patricia. Nice to see you there, new friend. Okay, let's get going. All right. Oh, I also, you're also going to need some foam squares. I don't see that we put foam squares in this kit.
Did we just do the roll?
Yeah, you actually could. Actually, that's probably what she thought, is you're going to have more than enough of this to clip this and use our extra for that's probably what she did. I'm sure that's what she did. Actually, I didn't think about that. But yes. And then I also have, because you'll recall, Brittany won't let me have inserts till our new shipment of inserts arrives. So I also have my Easy Peely so I can decorate the inside of my card, which, by the way, you guys get to be the first to know. They're here. The new Easy Peelies are here. We have the Easy Peelies for Christmas. We have birthday. We have all occasion. We have some single sheets now for babies. We is it babies? Yeah, one of the new Easy Peelies. Yeah, I think it's for celebrating babies.
Babies and children.
And children. And then there's for children's cards. And then there's one for, then there's one for getting older that's just a hoot. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know you're getting old. You know you're getting older when scoring means finding your car in the parking lot. There's some really good ones on there. So, Easy Peely. If you are looking for them, you can go to stickers and rub-ons, and they now have a category in there called Easy Peelies, and that's where you'll find all of them. They'll also be linked to the next newsletter, but since you guys are watching and they just came in yesterday, you guys get a head start on knowing that they're out there. We did get a good supply, but based on the way the Christmas ones sold out within just no time, it's good to know that you can jump in and get a head start on those. So there's got to be some advantages to being here, watching us, getting the little advantages. So there you go. More value added for signing on for classes. Okay, let's get going. I need to start with something simple, get my brain in gear. So let's get out our piece of Maryboard. Let's get out one of our 5x7 cards. Let's get out I'm going to use this piece of cardstock first. And I'm going to need a couple things off this topper sheet, but since I sometimes am a goofball and lose things on my desk when I punch them out, I'm not punching them out yet. I did not turn my cell phone off, so to avoid the sound of rocky music starting in the background, we'll turn that off. And you find them okay, Kim? Yeah, just go down to stickers and rub-ons, and now Easy Peelies have their own category in the stickers area. One of the things I want to mention about those is that there's two styles on there. The bigger kits are all just peel and stick. The smaller ones, so that you can use punches and things on them if you want to. Some of the smaller ones, in fact, all of the singles, I believe, are paper cut or scissor cut. It's no big deal. You just scissor cut and peel them anyway, but there may be a little bit more finagling to get the backer sheet off the singles, but they're worth it because they're really, really cute. And you guys have been asking for those since you first laid eyes on them, and they are wonderful. So anyway, they're here. I guess I should probably have some tape. Honey, grab me another roll of finger lift tape out of my drawer over there, would you please?
What
My
for?
regular finger lift. It'll be in the second cart halfway down, or third cart halfway down. Okay, I'm still trying out this wider finger lift tape. I think I'm liking it. I may bring some of this wider tape in and put it in the adhesives. It won't be listed with the Hunkydory because, of course, it's not a Hunkydory. Thank you, honey. It's not a Hunkydory product. It's from the Craft Style who are doing the Easy Peelies. But I do really appreciate about this tape that I have an easier time lifting the paper. Not that it's hard with the Hunkydory, it's just that I find that this is just, I very seldom, and it's probably because there's more contact surface, I very seldom have issues with it trying to lift at the edges. So I can grab it on the ends, and I virtually never have to tear it in the center and pull back because it just lifts off. Okay, did you not get the Christmas? Did you not get the Christmas Easy Peely? Yeah, or did they not make it into that category, Maria? If it's not there, is Christmas in all occasion too? Sorry, I missed what you said. No, there is no Christmas in all occasion. Honey, on your other computer there, can you open a window for the Easy Peely Christmas and just click on that category to put it in the Easy Peelies under stickers?
No.
Do you know how to do that?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'll take care of that as soon as we get off the air, okay? No, there is a full Christmas set. It's 10 sheets for Christmas, and I think it's like 7 for birthdays. They're all priced accordingly. I think it's 7 for birthdays, and it's similar for the all occasion set. So, yeah, they each have their own wonderful sets. And sorry that I missed the Christmas we already had, so when she was setting up the category, she probably forgot to go in and just add a add a click mark to get that into the Easy Peely category. If you search Easy Peelies with quotation marks around it, it probably will come up anyway. So you guys know me. I started with my 3 rows of tape here, and now I'm going to put my 7x7 Mary board on top. The most important thing when you're putting on your Mary is, you can trim up anything else you have to trim up, but make sure you get it clear back to the fold line when you're attaching it. I did a pretty good job of attaching it this time. No trim work. You know me. I liberally use my paper trimmer to correct any little inefficiencies I may manage to come up with while I'm working. Okie dokie. I'm going to just trim off my extra Mary. And of course, great idea to keep that. This is perfect for cutting sentiments and things, guys. So keep that extra little piece of Mary and get every bit of use out of that. Some of those little scraps like this, try running this through an embossing folder, guys. Try running this through an embossing folder, then cut it to a 1/2 inch, 1 inch wide, and use it as a ribbon on your card. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty just to lay it down as a layer. So there's a little hint for you. Okay, I've got my highly reflective surface down. Now somebody asked me, in one of our recent questions, could I take a craft knife or something and cut the center out of this? Not the whole card, but cut the center out of the mirror board before I put it down. Just kind of create a frame because it drives me crazy to cover up all that beautifulness. I haven't personally done it, but I've talked to people who have. If you had a nice sharp craft knife, or if you were using like a rectangle die cut, I'm certain you could do that. I don't think it would really influence the look of your card at all. So yes, I think you could cut the center out of this. Just leave a nice wide border around for, so that the mirror board on this card can do its job. But yes, I believe you could. Someday maybe we'll try that on film and see what happens. Did it, so glad they're back. I did it with their bow kit. Oh, you mean, Worked fine. Oh, you did it with the bow kit. Oh, okay. So you used it. Okay. So Mary did that technique we're talking about when she was making the cards in the bow class. So good on you, Mary. Thanks for answering that question for us. I'm going to use, sometimes I cut off a little bit of an edge just to get the picture that I want on my 5x7, but I'm not going to have to do that this time. The tree ends up being really nicely centered when I just use clear out to the margin. So I'm going to just cut my topper for this right off the edge of my card. I want to have about 1/4 inch margins. So 6.5 should be a really nice size to cut 4.5, I'm sorry. 4.5 inch margins. I may make it just a little wider than 4.5 and make sure I like what I'm seeing and trim off a little bit extra. So I'm going to go about 4 3/4 to start with, and then I'll come back in and trim it more if I want to. So I'm going to go to about 6 3/4 to start with, and then I will trim more if I want to, just because I never want to cut off more than I intended. So there's my 1/8 inch margins, and that looks nice, but I actually kind of like the little bit wider margins on this one. This card's so sparkly that showing a little bit more of that sparkle frame is good. So I'm going to go ahead and take maybe another little bit, maybe just a little more than 1/8 off each side, and see how that looks before I go further. Again, it's always good to just, trim it, then eyeball it, and trim it again. Yeah, I like that. There we go. That's just a really nice size margin there. I think you guys all probably know our tape flags trick, but I'm going to try it with this wide tape and see what I think. I think it should be fine, but I'm trying to run this. Hello, Katie. Katie. Hello. Hey, we haven't seen Kelly. Is Kelly going to join us? Oh, here along with my youngest daughter, Kelly. Hey, let's all give a shout out to Kelly and tell her where we're from. Hi, Kelly. I'm your new friend, Debbie, and I am from the state of Oregon. Let's give her a shout out. Okay, while we're doing that, I've adhered 2 pieces of tape. Don't worry about a third because it would defeat our purpose. Just 2 pieces of tape. I'm going to fold down a little bit here on the edges. Thank you, Alice. There we go. There's Brenda, Nona. Hey, Nona. Nice to see you. Welcome, friend. Okay. Once I have my flags hanging out the side, I have just a littlest bit of adhesive here that's exposed. So if I want to move things, it's fairly easy to do that without destroying anything. I'm going to lay this down on my card. I'm going to line things up the way I want them to be. I can take my time, get my margins just right. Get it exactly where I want it. I'll tap those 2 upper corners because they have adhesive, and that will help me hold everything in place. I put my left hand firmly on there. I'm going to pull my tape flag out. I'm going to put my right hand firmly on it, and I'm going to pull my left tape out, and I get a perfectly centered card without the stress of feeling like I'm going to mess it up. Okay, or as perfect as I ever get. Okay, now I am going to take one of my borders. You know what I forgot to do? I was so good about this last time too. What I forgot to do, and I probably should have done, is that it's good if you're using glitter to put your glitter on in advance of putting it down on your mirror board. I forgot, so I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, how cute that Katie's teaching Kelly. Oh my gosh, we're just going to have so many future crafters here. You guys make my heart sing. Okay, so anyway, I goofed up a little bit on that. Ideally, you would glitter your card before you put your topper down. I forgot, so we're going to do it the opposite way. But
Why?
you can do better than me, huh?
Why would you put glitter down first?
Why would you put the glitter down first?
Yes.
Because if I put the glitter on afterwards, I risk that I don't want to rub that glitter into my mirror board because it can scratch it a little bit. It's not much of a risk with our super duper fine glitter that we're using, but some glitter can be a little scratchy and it can tear up the borders of your card. I'm pretty sure we're going to be fine with our extra fine glitter, and I'm going to do it anyway because this card cries for glitter. It wants it. And of course we're going to provide it because that's what we do. I'm going to also trim my border to fit my card. Cut that just a little bit crooked. So I'm going to straighten that up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put my border down, which also would have been easier if I did it before I put my card down. But hey. I'm so happy to have you all out there today. Is it a scorcher where you guys are? I heard a few of you say that it would be nice to have a distraction that looks cooler than it is outside. It's getting hot here today, isn't it? What's supposed to be like in the mid-90s, Bryce?
We're at 97 and it's supposed to go to 101.
Oh. It's 97 right now. It's supposed to be 101 in Oregon. That doesn't happen in Oregon, guys. I know it happens to you guys all the time. It just does not happen to us. We're kind of in the same boat. Betty McSorley's not used to getting those great big temperatures either. Are you getting hot up there today, Betty? Or is it not going that high up? Okay. I'm going to put this border about a 1/2 inch down from the top of my card.
Brenda wins. It's 113.
Oh my gosh, Brenda, how do you do it, lady? I don't know how you do it. You just bring your tent and pitch it in my backyard here. Feel free. Although you might be claustrophobic surrounded by big old trees. I think I just got my border on a little bit crooked. And I'm not going to take it off because I tell you guys not to take it off because you tear up your card. It's going to be fine because I'm going to put a little accent up there anyway. I want this dreaming. I think when it's 90s and hundreds, we are all dreaming of a white Christmas. So I'm going to put this dreaming of a white Christmas under here. And I will take just a little bit of my shaker tape to attach that. Oh, Deborah says you're welcome there too. That's just too hot, man. Although staying in and making cards, I endorse that idea, but that's just too hot. The one nice thing about using your shaker tape for your foam squares in this particular kit, guys, is that you get 3mm foam squares because this tape is 3mm deep. And when you're only applying one layer, the 3mm can be really, really nice. Oh, Maria's going to get to 106 in North Texas today. 101 in Oregon is just unheard of, though. We don't do that craziness that the rest of you guys get to. That's why we live in Oregon. Because it's supposed to be cool and humid, cool and wet. We're just dreaming of getting our rain back when it does this. So I got my Dreaming of a White Christmas on. And now we got to do some glittering because this just really cries out for it. And as usual, I have my sheet. I'm going to call it copy paper. I have my copy paper today. I usually call it typing paper and show my age, but I remember today it's copy paper. And I am going to take my pen and I'm going to come down. If you don't have it, this is the Quickie glue pen. It is marvelous for this job. Now your glue will pool just a little because of the glossy surface of the card. One thing you can do to control the amount of pooling if you want to is put your glitter on quickly. That's one hint that you can use to control the amount of pooling that it does. Because when you first put the line down, you get a really nice line. And then on the glossy surface, it tends to kind of pool up a bit as you go. But if you put your glitter on as you go and just do little bits at a time, it will control the amount of pooling that you get. So that's a hint. Usually on these demos, I just kind of go for it because you guys are, following along and watching me glitter every little element could be kind of as exciting as watching paint dry. But if you do it a little bit at a time, it will control the amount of pooling that you get. And I will say that what little pooling you get with this fine line Quickie glue pen is still way better than what you're going to get with a regular glue tip because you're starting out with such a fine line. I love Alaska. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful up there. We have some crafty friends in Alaska who may be watching our video later, so we'll give a little shout out to the state of Alaska where it is absolutely gorgeous and cool. We're such wimps when it gets hot in Oregon. Everybody's going, oh my gosh, could it get any hotter? It's terrible. Oh, can you believe it? I have to stay in. Bryce and his dad and Lauren went for a walk on a local nature preserve this morning. What time did you go, Bryce?
7.
What time did you go today?
7.
At 7 a.m. this morning. Was it getting warm by the time you got home?
No, not too bad.
It wasn't too bad by the time you got home. What, did you get home maybe 8 o'clock or 8:30? Yeah. So it was still pretty good then. They decided they needed to get out while they could in the morning. When I'm doing the sides here, guys, I'm kind of following the branches on the sides. And this card wants a generous amount of glitter, but when I say a generous amount, I mean lots of little fine lines. Don't glob it on with a glue, with a glue bottle and a traditional tip. If you have one of those little extra fine tips, like the art glitter tip or the one from Tattered Lace, that might be okay, but try and get fine lines and then lots of them, because we don't want our glitter to clump up and be, gaudy. We want it to be very delicate. So all these wonderful little lines, I'm just following these lines along the outside of our card. And then I'm just going to start putting in some little random lines, kind of the way I think they would go in the center, because in the center you can't necessarily see all the lines. So I'm just going to kind of invent them in the center of the card, but it wants these little lines all over the place because it's just spectacular when it's done that way. And I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble with the glitter scratching my Mary for two reasons. One, I'm using as I said, I'm using our just super fine glitter, which is what's included in your kit. And secondly, in addition to just using the super fine glitter, which I don't think will scratch as much to begin with, I am also going to use a glitter brush to brush it off, and my brush is super soft. And I've showed you before what I'm using. I have two choices in the store. I have a regular glitter brush that has more brush tendencies, but I also have a little yellow fan brush that works marvelously as a glitter brush. So I'm just filling in some little downward lines, kind of where I think they'd be. And then we're going to set this off to dry for a few minutes while we do our other one. We'll brush it all off later and see how we did. And we can always add a little more if we want to. I can kind of see, if I look at it at an angle, I can see any areas I missed. But we're getting some pretty good coverage here, I can say. Don't worry about the fact that the glitter hangs everywhere while you're putting it on, because that's what it does. It's the static electricity against the shiny card surface. And it's going to be fine when we take it off. Okay, we'll set this one aside, let that dry. The quickie glue dries really fast. Okay, thank you, Kim. Yeah, we still have quickie glue pens in the store, and I do believe I have another order of them. I checked yesterday, still had 17 of them yesterday, and then I have another order on the way, so we should be fine for quickie glue pens for a while. But we do sell an awful lot of them this time of year. I think I got some 2-packs and I think I even got a couple of 6-packs of those. I'm going to clean up a little bit of my glitter. You know, I should be able to get this glitter back into my pot without making a huge mess. But if it's glitter, I make a mess. Brittany was giving me a hard time yesterday. I was out here and she was putting our kits together, and I wasn't even working with glitter at the time, but I was working with lots of glitter on Thursday night. And she said, I don't know how you do it. You haven't even opened your glitter vial today, and there's glitter clear over here on top of these cards. How did you do that when you're not even glittering today? I tried to convince her that it was my sparkling personality, but she would hear nothing of it. She wasn't buying it, no matter what. Okay, honey, I need another thing. Would you get me, please? I need a 6x6 piece of cardstock, please.
Which is where?
It should be in one of those lower drawers, I think. This side, move this way. Yeah, over there. You just need even if it's not a piece of cardstock, a card blank is fine. If I need it, those will be in the next set of drawers over. Just need one that's pretty good size. That'll work. A little wasteful, but in the interest of time, we will. Yeah, Teddy's back, guys. You heard him. He will not be ignored. Hey, guys, give a shout out to my father-in-law, Bob, who's here watching. He's here watching me make a mess with the glitter. And maybe you can tell Bob where everybody's from, Bryce, when they answer, so he can know who he's chatting with. So I have
Got Brenda from Phoenix, Arizona.
Mary's from North Carolina, I believe.
Yep. And Alice from Florida. Nona from Maple Ridge.
And Deborah's from California. I have 2 Deborahs today, one spelled each way. Okay. I had Bryce bring me a piece of cardstock. Let's go ahead and tackle our our Easel card decks. There's Patricia from Florida. Kim says, welcome to the class. We're the 3Ks from Maryland. Kim, Katie, and Kelly. She has her her kids there with her. Sorry. If you're grandma and you're called mom, that's a compliment. But if you're mom and you're called grandma, not necessarily a compliment. I told you guys that I was silver. I had gray hair really early. And when I was pregnant with my kids, even though I was, I wasn't old enough to have gray hair, but I had it anyway. And I didn't dye my hair when I was pregnant with the kids. I tried to do the whole no chemicals thing. And so my hair grew out, and my hair grows fast too. As you probably have noticed over the months, I couldn't have a haircut. It's getting really long and shaggy. But anyway, Betty's from Oklahoma. She says hi. And Deborah O'Brien's from Ocala, Florida. So everybody's saying, hi, Bob, from all over the country. And Bob is now from Tigard, Oregon. Okay, anyway, I was silver-haired. Now I'm taking my topper, guys, and I'm taking my plain piece of cardstock. We might have to take his bottle away from him. Teddy has a pop bottle under the table, if you're hearing that loud crunching noise. Yes, it's the poodle in the pop bottle. So I'm taking my big round topper, and I'm just going to trace myself a circle to create a backer for this. I'll show you why I'm doing this in a minute. Anyway, oops, my pen wasn't writing when I started that circle. So it didn't take long till my silver hair was showing in all of its glory. And I was, Jordan, I was 38 years old, and my hair was as silver practically as it is now. And I really had silver hair. And when we were out and about, Bryce was just offended because, if I'd had brown hair, I don't think people would have necessarily mistaken us for Jordan's grandparents. But after Jordan was born, we would go places, and inevitably people would call us Jordan's grandparents. And Bryce finally said to me, I'm way too young to be being called this child's grandparent. You dye that hair back. Let's get some hair dye in that hair. I am not Grandpa. I will say, with Bob here, that Jordan and Lauren have had some of the most enthusiastic grandparents that a child could ever ask for. And they were delighted to be called Grandma and Grandpa. But at that point, at 32 years old, Bryce was not thinking that being called Grandpa was a great idea. Maria McNulty said, hi, Bob, I'm from Texas via California, Michigan, and originally from New York. You get around. Okay, so I'm just cutting out my circle. Sorry we didn't put a piece of cardstock in there. Normally we would have. It's just when Britton was putting these together, I was sleeping, and I didn't catch her to tell her we needed to do that. Now, the reason I want the backer piece on here is that we are going to create a shaker out of this card. And I need to be able to raise this outer frame, and it's got to have something to stick to when it's kind of hanging above the card. So what we're doing is kind of creating a packet for this shaker to go into. Does that make sense? So we're creating a backer for it. It'd be nice if your cardstock was white, but if it's any other color, truly it's not going to show. So it wouldn't matter if it was purple. Purple's always good in my books, but I didn't get my glue bottle set out here. Hopefully this is one I don't have to work over the tip of. Oh, there it comes. Okay. So I'm going to glue the 2 inner circles down to that cardstock backer that I just created by tracing around it. I'm going to glue both pieces down because I don't want my confetti to, and I'm going to try and get right out to the edge without spilling the glue over if I can, because I want my toppers in the back to really stick down tight so all my confetti isn't getting down underneath. And I'm going to stick my tree in the middle. And then I'm going to adjust it as necessary because I want my ring to completely cover my backer, which it's actually a pretty good job. I'm going to leave it right where it is. Okay. Those of you who make shakers with me often are going to know that my next step here will be to put some tape down and then to prepare for my little window. I'm going to make a window out of acetate. And because this tape doesn't want to go around corners, I'm going to have to put this on in a bunch of little pieces. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take any real time to do that. I'm just going to wind around here and add little pieces of tape. A bit at a time. Tape will hold better.
Doesn't go down next.
What's that?
You don't attach that to your acetate?
Yes, I am going to attach this to my acetate.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm creating the window out of.
Oh, you're not using the foam
No.
tape yet.
No, this isn't the foam yet. I need to, what was I going to say? I lost it. Doesn't matter. Let me get my acetate piece here. You have Snowfall acetate in your kit. Love that Snowfall acetate. Those extra little dots are just really neat for creating snow effects. Push my tape down. I'm going to just peel off these little pieces of tape now. Really, I am. I get my fingernails under I am. Mary says that she loves to hear Teddy play. Well, 24 hours a day, if he has access to toys, you will hear Teddy play. He runs and runs and runs until he's just got nothing left, and then he drops in place. Mary asks, are we going to powder the acetate, or do we need to powder the acetate? And the answer to that is yes, we are. Thank you for the reminder about that, by the way. Oops, knocking stuff over. We are going to powder the acetate. I really do have a powder bag here somewhere. There it is. I'll just go the long way around to get at it. We are going to powder the acetate, but we don't want to do that until we do that between putting the, we're going to put the tape on our, what am I going to say? We're going to put the tape on, we're going to put our acetate on, then we're going to put our foam tape roll on. Before we peel the tape off our foam tape, we will put our powder on. We don't want it to get on the top of our foam tape because we want that to be super sticky when it sticks to our card. But we want to do it before we peel the tape so that we can get catch the sides of our foam tape too and kind of deactivate the sticky on the sides. I'm just placing my my frame right onto my acetate. I'm going to cut around there with my scissors to just create that window effect. And we will have a beautiful, nice, clean looking window before we mess it up. Some people are always concerned when I powder up the window that it gets all foggy looking. Shake your confetti around in there just for a minute, and all of the dust that's on the acetate will disappear. But what we've done by putting it there is to cut some of the static electricity that's in our confetti, and the static electricity that's on our window will cut that back. Got my shaker tape here. You got a nice generous roll of shaker tape in these card kits. I love this for the round. This nice thin shaker tape really bends well around the contours of this circle.
Are you putting that right to the edge, or where are you?
I'm putting it right. I'm trying to get it pretty close to my window, to the inside. On the inside edge, guys, not the outside edge, the inside edge. My purpose in doing that is that I don't want my shaker tape to show through my window, but what I do want is to keep my confetti that's in my card in sight, and I don't want it dropping off out of sight by dropping down to the bottom of the frame. I want to keep the confetti at the top of the frame. Remember, this is the part that is actually keeping our confetti in. So it's not a bad idea to put an extra little piece of tape around where your card seal is. You know, where my two ends of my tape come together. Push that foam tape down nice and firmly there. Now this is the point in time when we want to use, if you have one, this is not essential, but it does help keep from having your confetti just stick to the window. So we get our little embossing magic pillow out here. I have these in the store, or you can use, there's a variety of brands of these out there, but it's just a little powder. And all I'm doing is just pouncing this little powder bag around on my window. It's making my window look foggy. And I'm going right up to the side of the tape. I don't, the tape that's inside, in, you know, the sides of this shaker tape, you know, it's got adhesive on both sides of it, so this can be a little sticky. And by putting the tape, or using my little pillow right up to that tape line, you can also help to avoid having your confetti just stick to the foam tape. Okay? So now, let's try doing this so that I don't do what I did the other day. I'm going to put my contents onto my image. This may not look like a big bag of filler that we sent you. It's a good bag of filler. Okay, and I'm going to, you know, you probably really, I'm looking at how much I have here. I probably have enough in this bag for 2 cards. If you want to retain some, you certainly can. You don't need an awful lot of confetti to get a really nice effect. So I used roughly half of the confetti in my little baggie, and it's going to be plenty. This is what I put on my actual card. I don't know if you can see the depth that I have here. It's several layers deep. I'm going to push these back away from where my seal will go now, because I don't want those confettis getting under the seal of my card. I'm going to peel my tape. Let's get this tape off. And it's nice and sticky. I'm going to take my window and just fit it around here. Excuse me if I'm getting my head in your shot, but I got to see what I'm doing there. Okay, we have created an independent shaker card. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, that's so pretty. Once again, in these shakers, Brittany gave you some of the iridescent silver stars and then some of the white confetti. It's just a beautiful mix. It's a gorgeous mix for these. And you can see that my confetti doesn't really disappear down below my card, as Kim was just talking about there. You know, if you keep your tape pretty close to this inside edge, it will keep your confetti from just disappearing out of sight. But how pretty is that? Now we're going to actually create our card here. And we're using one of those new cards, which, by the way, guys, these cards that I've been putting in the kits, many of you have asked, when do we get those? When can we have those? They're here. They're here. Where did she put those, though? Did she put them in yet? I think she put them in.
We'll make a note.
Yeah, I will link you in the newsletter to those new cards. If you want to look for them before then, I would look at fancy folded cards. Go to paper crafting A to J. I think it's A to J, whatever. It's part of the alphabet. Go to that category and then look for cards and envelopes. And then under that, there's some different sizes. And then there's fancy cards and fancy folds. They are now available. They came in with Easy Peely cards. So we now have those in the store and ready for you. I love these cards. I'm very, very happy with them. And not only do we have them, they are priced lower than the same card. You know, we used to have the center step cards from hot off the press. I was very sad when we sold out of those because they were beautiful and they were really a nice size. These cards have the center step or the inverse center step that we love, but in addition to that, they have this beautiful easel flap on the back of them. And most of us don't have paper this size to cut those for ourselves. So it's nice that these cards are not only available, but they're available at a really good price. They are, I think we priced them at $4.49 for 5 cards. And they used to be $4.99 for 5 of just the regular, slightly smaller center step cards that we got from hot off the press. So they're actually, even though I'm importing them, they're priced less than the comparable cards used to be. Now you'll see that when I'm doing this, I'm kind of pre-scoring this just a little, or pre-folding this just a little bit with my fingers on those score lines. Don't try and get a deep score on them first thing. I just want you to fold them on the score lines just a little bit. So I'm just going to get a little bit of fold on there. Once I have everything in, all of my score lines folded on slightly, then I can go in and I can actually fold these down without risking that I end up with creases in my card where I don't want them. Are the regular card bases and envelopes Hunkydory? I'm not sure what you're asking, Mary. Are the regular card bases and envelopes?
5.7.
Yes. I'm going to try, I will tell you, I'm going to try to get this, I'm going to try and get some of these card bases, the heavier ones like we get from Hunkydory, from this new company. I'm going to try to get those in 50 packs, the heavier 5x7s. We'll see how we do and what the prices end up being, but I'm going to go for that. I'm going to try and do that.
These aren't Paper Mania 5x7s?
The ones that we have here could either be Paper Mania or they could be Hunkydory. We've been putting so many kits together, we've kind of been depleting our supply of the heavy duty cards I like to put in there. So we're using all kinds of brands, but I'm still trying to give you the heavy duty ones in the kits. Because again, it's just kind of a value added for the kit. Some of us will use those all the time. Others of us, they cost a little bit more and you want to be a little bit conservative, and I get that. So some of you may use lighter weight cards, and then it's kind of a treat when you get to use the heavier ones. If that's the case, I just always like to put the heavier ones in the kits. I never want anybody to be disappointed with anything they get from us. So if you aren't used to using them and you get them, that's a treat. If you are used to using them, I'm not giving you something cheap in the kits. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just took my piece of cardstock that we had left over, and if you look at my sample card, you'll see where I'm going. If I were to just use this just exactly like it is, all of my pretty ice crystals just fall off. So I'm going to trim about an inch off the bottom of my cardstock before I start, so that I can get these nice frosty crystals in all their glory showing on the bottom of my card. So I'm going to trim about an inch, just enough to show all those frosty crystals in on my bottom edge there. I'm going to trim an inch off my card. I still have plenty of card left to cover this. This is what we're going for. And now my icy crystals will show. So I'm just trimming an inch off. And next we're going to cover this card. This is not a good combination. I've got my shaker tape laying up against my powder bag here. What do I do with my bag? I'm going to move that. Well, if I can get you the heavy ones for a price that's comparable to the price of the lighter weight cards, that would make me feel really good if I could offer you that. So I'm going to try and negotiate a good price for you, and we'll see what we come up with. Okie dokie, here we go. I'm loving this new manufacturer, though. We just got in 50 packs of A6 cards from her, and I'm very, very pleased with the quality. And we'll have those available for you too. I think they work out to be $15.99 for 50 of the heavy A6 cards, which is a little bit more expensive than our value brand, but it's not terrible. It's a pretty good price for heavy cards. Okay, I'm putting a piece of tape kind of around the edges of where my cardstock is going to stick. This may have been a better job for my narrower tape, but I'm still trying it with this one because I'm dedicated to giving this a good shot with this. Sometimes the only way I can know if the product is something that I'm going to use my narrow tape across the bottom, because I don't want it to be floppy on the bottom. So I get a little piece of my narrow tape here and run across the bottom. Sometimes the only way I can tell if a product is of a quality that I want to offer it to you is just get it in, give it a good shot, and let you guys know what I think. And then if I like it, then I'll bring it in. Okay, here we go. Exposing my tape around. I've covered this piece almost entirely at the bottom. Then I've just got an outline around my center step here.
Why would you cover that white piece up there?
This one?
Yeah.
Bryce asked a great question. Why would you do that? Because that's what I'm used to doing when I do a center step card. You're right. You probably wouldn't have to entirely cover this piece if you didn't want to, because that's actually a really great idea, Bryce. See why I married him? He's pretty smart. Since we're completely covering that, let's just do it a different way. Why don't we try that? And then you could save a piece of the cardstock. Oh, yeah, well, let's do that. Let's just do that. Yeah. I'm going to have to trim this to whatever size that is. Where's my ruler? Do you see what we're talking about? Bryce is saying, why cover this and cover it up? And that's a great question. I always cover my center step cards the same way. I lay my card down, then I clip down here, and I clip in here, I clip down here, and I clip in here, and then I use my cutout pieces to cover these, and that's just what I always do. And I was on autopilot. But his question is a great one. Why use up cardstock by covering this piece when you're never going to see this piece? That's a really good question. And I think what we'll do is just cover this strip down here this time. Yeah, Bob's sleeping right now, but I'll tell him, Alice, that he raised a smart cookie. He did.
I'm meditating.
Oh, he lifted his head up and said he's just meditating. Well, Alice says you raised one smart cookie in Bryce. Okay, so I want a 1-inch strip. So I'm going to trim a 1-inch strip with my icy crystals. And I'm going to put that down across that bottom strip. That's a really great question. Okay, I'm going to put, it's funny, sometimes we go on autopilot, It's like when you're driving and pass a donut shop. You're saying no as your wheel turns into the donut shop. At least mine is. No, when I'm on autopilot, it's going anyway. Sometimes we do that in card making too. I do notice as I look here, oh, maybe I just cut it a little higher. I do notice that there may be a slight variance in these cards in the height of this bottom piece. I think it's just because I cut it a little higher. I actually cut my piece. When I trimmed it, I left a little bit extra that kind of covers this white area at the top just a little bit. So you might cut it to like 1 1/8 or something, guys. Because I think it looks nicer where it doesn't look bad because it's snowy anyway. But see how my white kind of shows a bit here? And on my sample card, you don't see that at all because I left this just a little higher when I clipped those in. So you might do that. Cut it to like 1 1/8 where I just cut mine to 1 inch. Use 1 1/8 for that. And now let's go ahead and put these insert pieces in while we can see what we're doing before. I have this piece left over. I'm going to use that, my trim off piece. This is non-directional, this background snow, so we just as well use up the pieces, right? We don't waste a thing if we can help it. They say you're pretty smart, honey. He's over here gloating. I can see his head getting bigger as we speak. I love my husband. He takes a razzing pretty well, too. He's a good one. Anytime you can get a guy who's willing to go through all those things I put him through in the production of these videos and stuff, and he normally does it smilingly. I can tell you there were a few choice words flying around when the camera wasn't behaving nicely before the video started today. There were a few choice words floating around, but mostly he does it in pretty good humor. He has to have a pretty good sense of humor to put up with me, guys. It just has to happen. I'll get that tape on the front of there. I'm sticking my fingers in the tape on the front. Okay. So I'm just going to trim this off actually on my side panel, and I don't have to worry about trying to match it. But you know me, I don't want to match or measure unless I have to. So I'm just going to cut this off to fit. Just a bit, but I don't really care. Well, it's straight. Okay, that looks good. We'll get another one and put on the other side. I don't know how wide that is. I can probably trim the strip a little shorter. These are 1 1/4 inch panels. Now, I get one to go in there. With Bryce's suggestion, though, we are going to end up having this nice big piece of cardstock that's probably big enough. I think it's actually big enough for a 5x7, maybe. Look at that. With Bryce's suggestion, we have enough cardstock left in the back for 5x7. You won't need it for this set, but you know, you could use that on a different card. Or if you wanted, that actually could be kind of cool. If you wanted, you could put your white on a dark background. So just another thought. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here. Again, these are non-directional, so it really didn't matter what direction I cut that. I'm going to use a little glue so I can move it around a bit if I need to. Once you put it in with tape, it's there. It's there for the duration. Okay. We were talking about being on autopilot, you know, just doing things because you've always done them. I said it's like me driving past a donut store. You say no.
Past a donut store.
No, I don't. I try to say no, and the car goes on its own, right to the donut store.
Sure, it does.
Especially if it's Krispy Kreme. All donut stores are not equal. If it's the Krispy Kreme store, there's just not a chance I'm not stopping. Okay. Fortunately, it's not close to our house, so it's usually only when I'm headed to the beach. Okay, we've got our side panels in and they look beautiful. Let's go ahead and put this topper set on here. We want to completely cover the corners down here, and we'll attach this up here. Get my tree straight, and I want to have roughly the same amount showing on either side. Now when I come down far enough to cover and get down to where I'm covering the white at the bottom, I might have, actually this time I don't. Oh, look at that, that fit perfectly. I was going to say I might have just a little bit of a corner showing here that I can trim off, but this time it was a perfect fit, although I don't think my tree was straight, so I got to do it again anyway. I will not have a crooked Christmas tree. There. I don't want this to end up being a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I want it to be beautiful. There we go. So we've got this panel attached to our tape. We've got our front done. Now if you're using inserts, you can use your insert to cover this panel. Since I don't have inserts, I'm going to use, I think that would be pretty, although I do like the black in the front. Here's my dilemma. I'm trying to decide, do I want to use this piece that I trimmed off my icy crystals in the front, where it entered, you know, before my stopper, or do I want to do it like I did it before and put my black cardstock down? I think I'm going to use my black. And but you know, we just talked about the fact that you can use your black to make another card front. I'm going to use, I put in about a 3-inch piece before. I'm going to use a 3-inch piece of mine to go in the front, about 3 1/4 inches. I'm going to use a piece of mine to go down here. And again, I don't have the insert paper, so I have to decorate mine a little differently because I have an easel card and it's going to show. So I'm going to put some tape here. I'm going to put this black piece down. If you have inserts, my recommendation is the matching insert paper will be beautiful, beautiful for that. I love you, Brenda. She says if it was perfect, it would say Hallmark on the back. I love it.
Mary's Krispy Kreme gave away donuts for a whole week.
We're true Krispy Kreme's fans too, Kim says. And Mary says Krispy Kreme's gave us free donuts for a week. Oh my, that's something our dreams are made of right there. Oh, I do love the sweet stuff. That's why I have such a petite body style. Oh. Okay. All right, so I got that. And now I want to build my stopper. And I still have this beautiful trim piece that I had left over from our first card. So I'm going to use this trim piece. I'm going to put some of my shaker tape on it. In fact, because it's my, well, yeah, I only used one. It'll work. I'm going to put a piece of my shaker tape right down the middle because I want it to be able to catch that lip from the card underneath it. So put a nice piece of shaker tape here. And I'm going to set that, it's going to set back as far as, it will set back as far as the stopper is. So I'm going to put this up about an inch or so, inch and a quarter, which is going to stand my card pretty straight up. Trim off my extra. I'm going to get my greeting here, and I like this long, because this long wide strip here, this one looks perfect there. That just looks pretty. So I'm going to put those season's greetings there. I'm going to put that up on some shaker tape too. I don't have to, I didn't on the first one, but why not? Why not, I say? So put our season's greetings here in the middle. That looks good. And then I set out some easy peelies. Let's see if I left myself enough room to use any of them. Oh, this one will fit. Yep. So I'm going to take this easy peely right here. I might have to trim it a bit. If you haven't used these yet, I do have one thought for you. Hover it above where you want it before you put it down, because they're staticky and they are going to jump. You'll see what I mean. They jump onto your cards. Bryce was mentioning that he said, you need to draw a tape line before you put these down, or draw a line, because you're getting those greetings crooked on the inside. And I said, yeah, but they jump onto the paper. If you've used them, you know what I'm talking about. They jump at your paper when they get close, and then they stick. And you've heard me say it before, I don't like to disassemble things, because if you go pulling on your elements after you put them down, you may just spoil the whole thing, when if it's just a tiny bit, it didn't have to be ruined. So I'm kind of holding all four corners up with my fingers until I get it where I want it. But there we go. Look at that beautiful easy peely there. I've got my card. I've got my beautiful shaker elements in the front, looking gorgeous. And I've got my stopper in place. And I love the way this looks. You open it up, you got that verse. I might have been better off leaving this just a little shorter and letting my verse have more room. If I did it again, I probably would, but it's still pretty. It's beautiful, actually. So we've got those done. See, that's pretty easy, isn't it, guys? It's so fancy looking, but it's pretty easy. Okay. I'd say we did a pretty good job of using that piece of cardstock. Look at what we have left. That's great. Okay, let's move on. We have one more card to do. Oh, before we do that, let's brush this off and see what we get. Because it's going to be beautiful. I'm sure of it. Find my glitter brush. My little one. I was going to show that to you again, but you know what I'm talking about, that yellow fan brush. that I have in the store. I'm just reaching, forgive me if I'm off camera for a second, I'm just going to do this over my garbage can. And I'm just brushing off my extra elements. Yeah, and I'm not having any scratching at all on my mirror board with this glitter and using a super soft brush to do this. If I were rubbing hard with a cloth or something, I might have. But with a super soft glitter brush, no problems at all with scratching my Mary. And here we go, guys. I hope you can see just how sparkly and gorgeous this is. It is like a dream. Move that back and forth so you can catch the sparkles a little bit. It's just beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Let me get a little more face on view here. I love that. Just love it. It's like diamonds. So pretty. Could use the handle of sorts for the easy. Could use a handle of sorts for the easy peelies. Maybe something like parchment paper, just on one end, the short edges. Maybe that might be a good solution, Kim. I don't know. Try it and then share that tip. Yeah, try that, and let us know what you come up with. I'm looking for answers because sometimes, like I said, I get them crooked. In fact, let's put another one in here. I picked out some verses I thought were beautiful. Christmas brings us closer, reminding us to care, to reconnect with those we love, warmth and peace to share. Christmas is for family and families, both old and new. May your holidays be bright and the joy to last the year through. How beautiful is that? They did a good job. You know, it says on their website that their staff at this place actually wrote most of these verses. Isn't that nice?
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's why they're the only place you can get them, because they wrote them. But I think they did a marvelous job with their board. Oh, see? It just jumps at it. Okay. But if I hold the corners up while I'm placing it on, it doesn't just grab it. And look at that. I mean, you would think I printed that right into the center of that card. It is just beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And if you're inserting your paper, it's okay. Put your insert paper down and you can put this greeting right over the top of your insert paper and you'll still be able to read through it. And if I wanted to do something just a little bit more, I can grab one of my little Sticker King stickers that we've sent to you here, because you have lots of them. And I could put a little tree border at the bottom, or at least a little single tree if I want, just for a little extra something inside. I have this pretty little tiny Christmas tree here, and I'm just going to add a little Christmas tree accent inside too. Why? Just because I can. Or maybe a border of those, or side treatment of those. I could put it up here like an exclamation point, but just a little extra. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Love it. Okay, that's 2 out of 3. Let's get number 3 out here. And just because I don't want to make the same mistake twice, let's pop this out and glitter it up. And let that dry while we are getting started. Cut it out first, then peel only small amount. Oh, that's a good idea, like a tape flag. Mary, you're brilliant. You're brilliant. What time shall we sign on next week? Because you're great. I love that idea. That's marvelous. Yeah, perfect. I like that. Thank you for sharing. I like that idea. I'm going to try that with this one. We'll see if I can do it. Nothing quite like trying something for the first time while you're live on camera. I'm trying it though, because I think that's a brilliant idea. Good job. See, that's the power of group thinking, you know. You get the brilliance of a bunch of people's thoughts, and I do so love that. Okay, I'm going to cap my glue bottle before I put this together so I'm not messing up. Get my little glue pen out here. Get my glitter vial out here. That's a really good idea. Okay. I'm going to... Now this tree is tiny, tiny. Way smaller than I thought it would be from the picture. So I think with my white tree, what I did last time and what I'm doing this time is just kind of polka dotting it with my glitter. You can't see the fine branches enough to, in the main tree, to get right in there and draw the branches like you do on the big one. So I'm just kind of polka dotting it with my pen. Just tap, 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 tap. It'll get plenty of glitter on there without it being gross because there's, just too much. I'm going to cover that before I do my outside trees just because I don't want it to pool too much. And now I'll do my outlines. I see a few spaces that I just didn't get polka dotted very well, so I'm going to do those because I had kind of a band through there that didn't get much. Put a little more on. Okay. Now I love I love putting glitter on these bare trees. It's just so pretty. And what I try to do, it doesn't always work out perfectly, but nothing in these is going to be perfect. It's, representative. It's not supposed to be spot on. But what I like to do is kind of hit one side of the branch, like the ice is heavier on one side. But these icy trees just look beautiful. I don't get much on my trunk, so let's get a little more on the trunk. I stuck my finger in the wet glitter. I think it'll be all right though. But these icy trees, I just love to do that on winter cards. Just kind of dry in the branches and make them icy or snowy. So pretty. You're going to love these cards, guys. You're going to totally love it. Like I said, I think we might be sold out of the topper sets. It's possible. I believe that I heard Brittany say we're sold out of the toppers. We have a few of these kits left, and I have plenty of the toppers. I'm hitting that again where I stuck my finger in it. We have plenty of these topper sets on order, so we should have many more. You wouldn't believe what I bought the first time because I knew they were going to be beautiful. But as predicted, we had several people buy 10 and 12 of them, so they disappeared really fast. But we have more coming. Never let it hesitate to buy what you want of something, because lots of times I'm monitoring that inventory, and when something's really popular, I'm going to try and get it back in. So get what you want. But it's always a good idea to get what you want the first time. Don't wait. Because we are a small company, and we don't have the deepness of inventory that some of the huge companies do. And when I try to get things back in, I can't always. So get what you want the first time. I talked on Thursday night about the iridescent ribbon. I know lots of people were disappointed that they didn't get the woven iridescent ribbon when I put it on Brittany's Bargain. And I have lots more of that coming, including many colors we did not have the first time. And I'm going to, because so many people didn't get it and still wanted it, I was amazed how many people just went right after that. Since so many people didn't get it, I'm going to honor the sale price and put it up at the same price again. So that will give you guys the opportunity to get a beautiful supply of that. and that will make me happy to have made you happy. So it should be coming before long. And keep an eye, if you want to get a jump on the crowd, keep an eye on Brittany's bargains all week, because when it comes in, we're just going to load the inventory into the system. And if you're watching that Ritz Bargains category, you'll get it before we announce it. So think about that. Just keep watching that Ritz Bargain area. But there's going to be some beautiful new colors too. I love these cards. I agree with you, Mary. They are totally gorgeous. Okay, got my 3 lines down. I thought about putting Mary behind this one, but it just didn't need it. It's light, light and airy and beautiful already, and I thought this one was better just without extra Mary on it. Okay, I'm lining up my card. Pop my cardstock on there. Flip it over. Cut around my card. You are going to have a beautiful piece of this white left too. This is plenty wide enough for either an A2 standing up or one of our European A6 cards. You should have plenty there to do another card out of this beautiful, gorgeous white cardstock. We don't have another topper for you, but you may find one in one of the other sets that looks gorgeous on here. Okay, I'm going to, as I so often do, I'm going to put my outside ring on foam squares. I'm going to glue the inside ring, this little one I'm taking out, flush to the card. And I'm going to put my inside topper up on foam. Why? Because I can. I like the texture of it, actually. And I like that having 2 levels. I don't want it all up or all down. I just want to mix it. This time, because I'm not making a shaker card, which, by the way, you guys should have, you may even have enough of the acetate left. You could make, you have enough innards, you have enough tape, and you have enough shaker components. You probably could make this into a shaker also if you wanted to. I'm not making a shaker because that's not what my sample was, but I'll bet you'd have enough of everything if you chose to do that. Acetate's maybe a little bit of a maybe, but just remember you only have to have a piece of acetate big enough to cover that window. So there's a thought. We had so many shaker components left. You could probably get 2 shakers if you wanted to. I've been busy working on cards. I did a few of them that are going to be in our download. And I did some more for classes. I'll show you one of them. Let's see, I think I have 2 sets here that are going to be classes. I'll show them to you when we're done. Some new ones. If you were wanting to get the Utterly Wonderful Christmas, our kit for Thursday sold out. We made up more, and there are more now on the website. I think there's about 5 or 6 more of them up right now. And if you, let me just get that off. Oh, that's not bad. If you want one, you can grab it now. If they sell out again, don't worry. I'm going to get more of them. We just had a limit to the amount of Nouveau we had in stock. So it was the kit with the Nouveau that sold out. If you already have Nouveau drops and want the rest of the kit, those are out there too. I think I have about 11 of those left, and then 6 of the ones with the Nouveau drops are out there right now. And we have another shipment of Nouveau drops due. I'm putting this little round button, I call these buttons, this little button that has kind of the nativity star. I love that, and I like what that says. So I'm putting that above my Christmas tree. And then I'm going to put oops, I shouldn't have done it before I put my ring in, but that's okay, it'll be fine. I'm going to put a rhinestone in the center of that. But let's get to, I missed something on my other card too. We'll go back and do it. My glue bottle. I'm going to, I explained to you last time what I'm doing here. Running the little nozzle of my glue bottle right around the inside of my ring is a new thing that I've been doing, and that's helping to keep the glue from corrupting this piece when I put this ring in, by putting it on the inside instead of putting the glue on the back of the piece I'm gluing down. So there's a little hint that I've learned from trial and error that might help you too. Okay, I've got my ring glued in. So pretty. By now, I think, take a little look here, I think our topper should be fine. What did I just do with that glitter brush? I'm so messy. Don't say a word, Bryce. Don't say a word. Oh, it's gorgeous and sparkly and shiny and wonderful. And I'm sorry I just bopped the camera. As I came up, I kicked it with my foot. We will put some of our foam tape on the back here. I don't need to ring the whole thing, just a couple little lines here. I'll hold this up just fine. Yeah, with this roll of foam tape, you really get a lot of foam tape in one of these kits. You got enough to do 2, maybe 3 shaker cards easily. Especially if you're using your foam squares for these other pieces. Here we go. And pop my tree in the center here. I felt like this needed a greeting, and none of the ones that I wanted to use I didn't think they were the right size. So that's why I put in these Merry Christmas stickers. Besides that, I like these. I think they're really quite pretty. These Sticker King are pretty. They're easy to use. They're not super fragile. They're fairly easy to get along with. The one thing I like about them is that they're heavy enough weight that they don't completely stretch out of shape when I'm pulling it off and using it in a single line. You could, and I know some of you are very good about using transfer tape. I could use transfer tape, and it would be a really good way to go. But sometimes I just don't want to take the time to get it out. I like the fact that I can get away with pulling these off and just sticking them down without having to go search out some transfer tape. These stickers, these tree stickers on your sticker sheet there'll be a line of them, and you can use as many or as few as you want. On my sample card, I used 6. I don't think I want as many as the 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 on this. I think I'm going to trim this back by probably 2 trees, and I'll use these other 2 little trees either in the center or on a different card. I'll just stick those down for now. And I'm going to put this little row of trees here at the bottom. Here we go. And I want to put a rhinestone in the center of my star at the top. Why? Because I can. No other good reason. I just like it. I like the iridescence of these AB rhinestones with the iridescence of the glitter. I just think it looks pretty. There we go, friends and neighbors. That's the outside. Really, really pretty. I'm going to try our technique for putting down our sticker. I really like that idea. Let's see how it works. Okay, these are the ones that are I just had kind of a nick cut out of the top. You saw me trim it off. That's just because of the way I peeled the other one. They're so transparent, sometimes you kind of feel around to catch the edge of it. So Mary's idea of taking it off separately and treating it like a tape flag with only part of it exposed till you get it lined up, that's just a brilliant idea. So let's see how that works. I think I'm going to allow myself a little bit more to show so I can get a little better gauge of what's straight. But it would keep it from just grabbing the paper and running, you know, which is what it does. My hair is so long. Okay. Let's see if it's working great, Mary. So just put down the one edge and then smooth it in place. You're brilliant, my friend. Brilliant. Let's put a couple of our little trees inside here. I have those two I cut off. I think maybe I want a whole row of them though. Why not? I have plenty. And you get a whole half sheet of these. There we go. Here's our finished Christmas card. I love it. Thanks for the idea. I love it, love it, love it. I didn't have the kit this time, just the toppers, but I played along with that, and it's very pretty. Yay! Excellent. Good job, Deborah and Brenda. I'm glad that you guys played along, and Betty, yeah. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Brilliant.
You have a couple of comments above that too.
Hey! Did you go crochet? Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome. What's your name? We're so happy to have you join us.
Right below that.
And wuthCrafty gal. I'll just get my cards done later and post on Facebook. Just a little tired today. Keep nodding off. I have that effect on people. My cameraman often falls asleep. D rhymes with, die rhymes with hi. Okay, Di, thanks for joining us. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Love to have you there. I noticed as we were working that I omitted two things from our shaker card. I need to go back and finish that. I should have had 3 iridescent rhinestones on this corner. So let's put those where they belong. Once again, those iridescent rhinestones just play really nicely with the iridescence of the filler in the shaker card. It makes it pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. Okay, and we didn't put our winter wishes on. So let's get that on there. Winter wishes. You have some wonderful sentiments. Shine bright, Christmas, a little star, a nice border that you can use on some of your other cards from this set. You had a nice piece of that white cardstock left, a nice piece of the blue cardstock. So you got lots of components that you can carry over and use with your other kits. Should have lots of shaker tape left, lots of shaker filler left. Let's put this on here where it went. And put it about there. There we go. Now it's actually finished. I got a little ahead of myself there. It's just a really light touch, but you know, it really catches the light, and it's a nice addition to this card. And then the winter wishes up there. You know, I like that too. Okay, that's it for our cards for today. Let's take a look at some of my new stuff that's coming up. It's out of arm's reach, so I'm sliding out of your screen for a minute. Wait till you see these. Oh gosh, I do love them. Am I missing one? No. Oh, there's more there. Okay. 2 new classes that will be posted soon. Let me show you the clock first. As you know, this clock, when we were going through them in What's New Wednesday, I mentioned that this was one of my favorites, and it is. There's just something about that scene that just appeals to me. That old antique-y looking clock surrounded by the holly and the books and the quill pen. I love the way this one turned out. I think this is really pretty. A little glittering around the flowers. This is something new that's being added. This is the red and blue woven iridescent in a 1/4 inch ribbon. And I think it ties up beautifully. So there you go. We'll be posting that as well. Don't know if it's in yet. Here's the second card from that clock set. This is out of the classic. What's that classic called? Seasonal? No, festive remembrance, festive memories. Festive memories. I think that's what it's called. It's out of that collection. Here's the red one. Brought in a little extra glimmer with some gold jewel dazzles at the bottom and the top. Festive wishes tag on it. Pretty. Wishing you Christmas where love is shared and memories are made. A few more of those little gold jewel dazzles. You've heard me say it before. When you just need something and you don't want a lot, a little line of those gold dazzles, 3 pieces side by side just make a world of difference. This is coming up. And here's our 4th card from that set. Thinking of you. This one doesn't even really have to be Christmas. This is good for any occasion in the winter. The Thinking of You card can be a birthday, it can be a Christmas, it can be New Year's card, it can be just a note card you send somebody in the middle of the winter. These are not posted yet, but they will be beautiful. I don't know, Mary. Are they magnolias? Maybe. I don't know. Dad might know. Toss that over and see if he knows if those are magnolias. He's much better at flowers and horticultural things than we are. Okay, here's the other set, guys. This is that dove set.
Oh, the white flowers, magnolias. Kind of look like it.
We have a gold acetate snowflake with a brad in the middle and a jewel dazzle on top of that. We've got the beautiful, elegant dove.
What kind of flower
lace
is
that they put on there.
Beats you.
I've used one of my, again, I don't have the inserts. If you have the inserts, a little piece of the glitter still looks really good on the outside, and that's what I used for my catch for my easel. But the Easy Peely looked beautiful in here. This is kind of one of those cards that makes you say, oh my gosh, that's pretty. There's that one. Your kit will include the blue sparkly paper. Here, this is actually the corner of our card, and I cheated and took a ring off of the dove I used on that last card, and I built myself a shaker out of the corner piece of cardstock. And the beautiful village there. And then the snow scene. This time we used the something clouds. It's by Nouveau, and it's like white clouds or clouds something. It's got a kind of warm tones almost in the snowflakes, but they just fit this card beautifully. And love me that shaker card. You know I like shaker cards. Now that is my number 2. Here's number 3 coming up. A little bit of glitter around my dove. I've got my Peace on Earth sticker. I've got one of my iridescent my acetate snowflakes. A few of my jewels put on the snowflake. Some jewels underneath the bird. Oh, he's so pretty. So pretty. That's number 3. It's easy to make beautiful things when you have beautiful materials, isn't it? And look at this one. I didn't do a lot to this other than glitter it, but it's just spectacular. It's so pretty. I hope the glitter shows in the picture, because those soft glitter effects against these rich blues are just stunning. This kit is coming soon. It's coming soon, guys. And these card kits are very reasonably priced. I keep saying that, but I can't believe what I'm doing them for. They're averaging around $13 for all the components, with the acetate and the acetate snowflakes and the glitter card and the card kit and the glitter and the shaker tape and the rhinestones. I can't even believe what I'm doing them for, but they're turning out really, really, the kits are beautiful and they're turning out pretty. They're easy to make, but gorgeous to give. I'm so happy with our cards that we're making this year. And don't forget, those of you that purchased the Crafty kit from us are going to also be able to get a download from our website for free with all the other ones that we're not featuring in card kits to fill out your Crafty. Now that's as many of the sets as I do. But these are coming up. These will be future classes. We have the next 2 weeks mapped out. If you have not taken the bow making class, guys, do yourself a favor and get on that bow class, because a well-tied, pretty bow is going to make all the difference in getting your card made. We have that bow making class coming up. The class is $30 in total. 24 of that is just the bow maker. And then the rest of it, you're getting about $20 worth of ribbon. You're getting the instruction. You're going to learn how to make bow pins, and you get a little kit for that. We're going to make a card because, of course, I do cards. We have to have a card in that class. So there's just a lot of value in that bow class. If you've already had the bow class, get your bow maker out. Get your supply of ribbon out. If you don't have a supply of ribbon, I have a kit that is everything else you'll need except the bow maker, and it's out there. It's still a value because you still get all the add-ons, and you get $20 worth of ribbon, and I think the kit is priced at $18. So get ready to do the bow class. If you've already done it, it's a great time to practice, to remember what you already know. So sign on with us, hang out, chat with me, give me your ideas and suggestions. I love the ideas and suggestions that came in today. Love, love, love that. So if you haven't had the bow class, let's get signed up for that bow class. It's coming up in, I think, 2 weeks. And we'll want to be sure that you're ready, because the kits this time, I'm not tying the bows. For the most part, I'm just sending you the ribbons. So let's get on that bow class so that you have beautiful bows for your cards as well. Thank you, Alice. If you haven't already done so, please give me the thumbs up. If you like what you're seeing, you want to see more of it, give me the thumbs up. It helps my statistics on YouTube. It helps, the more we can build those statistics, the more YouTube is likely to suggest our videos for people who are out there surfing for card making. So we want to build our statistics and touch as many people as we can, bring in as many new crafty friends as we can. So if you haven't done so, please give me the thumbs up. Are there any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom? I'm going to wait longer this time. Thursday, I asked that. And then shortly after I signed off, and like 14 questions came in rapid fire. So I'm going to hang out here a minute this time and give you an, oh, thank you, Betty. Oh, you're so sweet. And give you guys an opportunity for questions. Anything on your mind, throw it out here, guys. I'm happy to address it. If you want to know the meaning of life, that's going to be a longer conversation. Yeah. Any thoughts before we go? You guys are just the best. Have I told you that today? I think you guys are the best. It's great fun to hang out with you on Saturdays and Thursdays and do these crafting times. I love having the opportunity to visit with you. It's one of the things I look forward to a great deal. Thank you, Di. I appreciate it. Yay! I love it. I love it. I love it. Susan, thank you so much, and thanks for hanging out with us. Thelma, I know you couldn't say goodbye, but Thelma, to you, sending love, and I thank you, Alice. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Susan, Di, Kim, Betty, Alice, Mary, Kim, and Katie, and Kelly. Kelly.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. You are just the best. You guys have a terrific week. We will see you on Thursday, and I'll send an email out to you either tonight or tomorrow morning with the links that we talked about for this video. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.